What up, MetaZoo Maniacs and Crypto Campers? Today is June 7th, 2025, and back on June 2nd, as you can see right here, 2025, 5:03 p.m. my time, so that'd be 7:03 p.m. Eastern time. We had Charlie Herlocker with MetaZoo Monday. So I'm going to go over what I consider some highlights in here, and maybe the most important thing that was said on MetaZoo Monday actually happened after MetaZoo Monday ended. So I'll try not to make this video too long so we get to that soon enough when we can talk about what he said after MetaZoo Monday. But in the meantime, let's have some fun. I just have to document it on my channel. What did they talk about on June 2nd, 2025 MetaZoo Monday? Okay, you'll notice it started at 5:03 p.m. but at 5:01 p.m. because I thought it was going to start at 5, I said, Charlie, will we see the return of Sam Sinclair someday? Maybe to rescue the newcasters from the clutches of evil. You know why I said that? Because I was thinking about Sailor Moon, and the newcasters seem like they're going to be about as powerful as all the Sailor Scouts, and Tuxedo Mask is going to have to save the day every episode, or so it seemed. So maybe Sam Sinclair is going to have to save all these new, weaker casters. Okay, but let's get back to the start of MetaZoo Monday. We're going to go over a few questions, well, quite a few questions that weren't answered, and we're going to go over the questions that Charlie did answer, and yeah, let's get into it. So the Masked Caster, will we see organized play with set 2? Yes, we will. How many base set booster boxes have been sold so far? No one's ever going to answer that question. I think the real question is how many base set booster boxes are going to be sold after this question was asked. At this point, I don't think any more have been sold. Because you could buy the whole set for less than the price of a booster box, including all the alternate arts. But not the hidden rares. Oh, let me answer this one for Ricky Slim. When is set 2 coming? That would be August 1st, 2025. Uh-oh, it's Camel Jr. Camel Jr.? What do you think of Cryptic Camp and Obscurids? He's always stirring up trouble here. So obviously that wasn't answered. GB Go, why this and not that? I wanted that. Zealous TCG, new Void Seal. Yep, they need one of those. TCG underscore experience. Will we ever see Sam Sinclair again? From MetaZoo Menace to everyone listening, I guarantee we're going to see Sam Sinclair eventually in the future. You know how I know that? Because Charlie's never said no. He hasn't said yes, but he never said no. Will we see the MetaZoo Play Network back up again? Yes, I guarantee it. Here, I'm going to show you proof in this video how I know that. We're going to go to the MetaZoo TCG website, and right there, look at this. It says Play Network. Click on it, let it load. Check this out. Boop, 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 boop. MetaZoo Play Network. Straight. It says MetaZoo TCG trading card game. Play Network coming soon. So yes, there will be a MetaZoo Play Network again. Here, I got another question. Where are the inks, like red and blue? So yeah, where's red ink, blue ink? They gotta have them eventually, right? Or at least some hidden rare, like something beyond hidden rare, like a real secret rare, like red or blue ink. Serialized would be smart. Camel Jr. is caught in trouble. Waddles was a faster typist. That's because Mike Waddell would have the quick one-quip, two-word answers, which was cool. I actually didn't mind it. I liked how cryptic he was. But hey, we got an answer from Charlie Herlocker here. Couple questions on OP. So I'm just going to pause this, pause the video right here. I'm not going to go through these because these are pretty long-winded answers, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. It's because he's got a lot of passion, he's got a lot to say, and he doesn't want to leave anything up for misinterpretation. So, yeah, pause the screen, boom, and you can read his answer there on OP. Oh, and there's a little more at the bottom here. So pause it again. And then Echoes commented on Jay Worry's comment, so he said we don't need 1 million SKUs like old MetaZoo had, but then Echoes is like, need more than one though. And that is interesting. I mean, they only have the one booster box out. Well, there's 2 SKUs because there's the Poncho box too. But where's the blisters? Where's the spell books? Where's the binders? Where's anything else? Even MetaZoo Maniac made their own binder. Okay, so here is Charlie Herlocker's answer to being on TCG Player. So pause the screen here. Take a little read. He's got the answer right there for you about MetaZoo being on TCG Player. Okay, here's another comment that Charlie Herlocker had. Pause the video here. He's just talking about the sales sheets. It might even be some of the stuff that I spoiled from, I think it was, I forget the name of it, IP Images or some distributor where it said the marketing plan and all that. So pause the screen, read this if you like. Here's an interesting comment. So Ferosher said, any chance I'd allow an original MetaZoo cards in the sense of an artifact, in sense of an artifact for gameplay, where you put an original card in play which activates the artifact with a new additional abilities. The new card does everything while at the same time having a neat ability to kick. So that's a cool comment. That's interesting. Hey, it's TMX Comics. Good evening. Let's give him some fire. And we're going to give him a burger to help build that muscle. Okay, let's see here. Good evening. How do you feel about the launch of the first set? Are you satisfied with the set, the feedback, etc.? Any changes leading up to the second set based on the experience from the first set? Or from the first go? I don't think he answered this question. Oh, Camel JR is trolling. How many questions can you answer in 1 hour? Probably because Charlie's only answered 3 questions in half an hour, so... But when Charlie answers, he takes his time and he writes a lot. He writes like an essay here. So I'm going to read through this one because he is talking about the alt art boxes, like the Poncho box, the Jet 8 box coming up. I see questions broadly on alt art boxes. I think that people having different opinions on things is inevitable. I think that discussion is good. I don't want to supplant that discussion or imply that nothing will ever change. Let me just offer you some insights from additional perspectives and complicate things. Okay, I like that. He's complicating things on purpose. This is a short version, and I think that I could do a really long video on everything that happens with these. Because if this is a short answer, I don't know what a long answer would be. One thing that alt boxes do is give a legitimate advantage to small community creators, LGS, Live, Ecom, Discords, etc., over mega seller on static asynchronous Ecom, eBay, Amazon, Walmart, etc. The lack of confidence in retailers that do not offer live videos, transparent break, etc. is a structural advantage to people who have trust with their community and are willing to go the extra mile through content. Now, I agree with that, and that's what Collectible Crusaders is trying to do, but the problem is, if you order 5 cases, you don't even get one of those chase boxes, you can't really make any crazy content, even though Collectible Crusader and others are going that extra mile. There's no other game where these people have any structural advantages. They're strictly losing to these alternatives. On the concept of it suppressing prices, I think that's a factor. I think these things are multimodal and a lot more complicated and cyclical than maybe people are tuned into. It's something we pay attention to. You may have seen people in the community pull as many as 3 hidden rares and as few as 0 hidden rares. That I've seen could be higher as the max pulled so far. I know I pulled 3 hidden rares from my case, and one of them came out of the Poncho box. I haven't heard anyone else pull 3 hidden rares. I'm sure it's happened, but I've seen a lot of people not get 1 hidden rare, like catching cryptids. But I did have 3, which is crazy. Anyways, and that is in an effort to collate in such a way that product isn't dead, quote unquote dead. There are some good games that had a big issue with cards that were individually too rare / desirable relative to the rest of what's going on in the product, and then everything gets dumped. I know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super 1,000,000,000% does have that problem to this day. But then again, in MetaZoo, besides the hidden rares, which have come down quite a bit in value too, everything else in MetaZoo is 100% getting dumped. We feel we reasonably moderated that in our product. I only mention this to say that we are aware of the impact of these types of dynamics in the space, but are not convinced that the primary problem with asynchronous sites, where the only discoverability mechanism is price, rather than price autonomy through community creation and the inherent value add of entertainment, lies here. Sales velocity is complex. I think I'd want to have a format where I can touch on this longer, more complex way. I should make a video on this. 100,000,000% you should make a video about it. This was a pretty long answer, Charlie. But hey, if this was a short answer, I can't wait to see the video of like the full explanation on alternate art boxes. Blaine L, full art when to go? When? Sometime around October 31st is my guess. For the alpha promos, were there any short prints or any cards not included? It seems like there are a couple cards that are impossible to find, which isn't good for the people who spent thousands trying to complete the set. Who spent thousands trying to complete the set? Okay, someone comment below and then come back and watch the rest of the video. Which cards are short printed that you feel from the alpha promos, and who spent thousands of dollars trying to collect them all? Savage asks, what's the actual, like, what are you guys working on in regards to actual promotion and exposure outside of Collecticon? So Charlie does answer that right here. Pause the screen, take a little read. I mean, it does say here, we are doing a lot of marketing, especially on a global basis. I guess we just have to see where that pans out. Okay, so Charlie answered the question, can we see a roadmap for the rest of the year? So pause the screen, let's see what he says. Actually, I'm going to skim through it really quick. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. I think that's great. It's a great goal to aspire to offer an entire year of granularity. I think it's one of those things that was first pointed out to me was a roadmap like this from the OG MetaZoo. Importantly, every single item on that entire roadmap except for like 2 didn't happen. My goal is to make sure we release information responsibly. Hype is great. Hype without delivery is unsustainable. We are looking to build something durable and sustainable. I'm not really interested in getting ahead of ourselves in the short run to string people along. So, I mean, we're going to be in the dark for a while. Then again, right, you don't want to, get people hyped up for something that you can't deliver on, so you got to play it safe. Can't hate on that. But then again, I mean, there's no hype for anything, you know what I mean? So Charlie Herlocker addresses the hater, Camel Jr. So it was from the James Jams comment. You spend a lot of time on here for being a hater. So Charlie's reply, one of the things that I'm proud of is that I think the negativity in general has reduced tenfold from, say, 3 months ago. Now, TMX made an interesting comment in a recent video that maybe we have 10 times less fans as MetaZoo or people that are still paying attention as well. So that also reduces the amount of haters too and the negativity. I'm not here to piece through what negativity is valid, warranted, deserved, etc. But on the whole, the game needs a community that people actually want to spend time in. This is a hobby. People need to be able to have fun. I think that even constructive criticism delivered in the wrong way or at the wrong time can be bad. Just like the great news about saving money on our car insurance is not best delivered to someone just admitted to the ER. I hope that we continue to make the identity of hating on MetaZoo as a lifestyle dated out of fashion. Okay, yeah, true. And I hope that the awesome, committed fans and content creators that we have in the community have the introspection to know when they are making a video about what they want to see out of a game they love, and when they're spending so much time complaining that they are no longer fun to spend time with. Yeah, right. Constructive criticism is the way to go. I think Camel Jr. or whatever, just having fun, but he definitely rubs people the wrong way. Don't get me wrong. At different points in my life with TCGs, I've been on the right and wrong side of this fence. It's a general maturity thing and probably applies to everything, not just TCGs. But TCGs are a microcosm of all life, something we do together. Hopefully we find that it's more fun than other things at the end of the day. Do my best to contribute to that goal. So Frostbite Labs earlier had a question. Do you ever think, what the hell did I get myself into with MetaZoo? So Charlie answered that. Not so much. I think things so far make a lot of sense and are generally on track. It's a ton of work and there's a lot more to do, but I still really look forward to continuing to do it. I believe that the concept of MetaZoo is fundamentally great, the execution is challenging, and TCGs in general are super duper punishing until you get a stable state that you can build on in a big way. The question is always going to come down to how well the IP resonates on a global basis. The rest is just staying alive while that proliferates and building a net capable of catching fish. Well, look at this. A net capable of catching fish. Maybe that's why people are posting fish memes. Maybe they shouldn't be banned. I'm comfortable with where we are. I think we will see progress in the next 6 months. That is radical as the last 6 months. That excites me and gets me out of bed in the morning. So, I mean, there's a hint right there that in the next 6 months, MetaZoo is going to drastically change the perception of MetaZoo. So, should be interesting. What is this, TCG player? Timmy's Tacos and TCGs. OG Zoo is a boring rip. Was then and still is now. I massively disagree with that, but that's crazy. OG Zoo so fun to open. Are you kidding me? You never know when you're only going to get 3 full hollows in a box, and you never know when you're going to get like 35. Here's an interesting one from Seafart. Will there be any more variety in rarity types moving forward other than what there currently is? And Charlie said, yes. there will be variety in the rarity types in the future. Frostbite Labs had another question. I know you can't answer, so just blink if you think MetaZoo deserves an animated show. So it's a long answer. It doesn't really give an answer though, but it just says the future wide open. Pause the screen once again if you want to read this answer. So we had a question up here. Can you share some part of your future plans y'all have that isn't currently being done? I mean, so read this whole answer here. It's just Charlie talking about they don't want to really spoil any product, have any spoilers for future products. Blaine L, maybe Arby's? I gotta go make a video at Arby's. That's what I have to do sometime. I do have some UFO boxes. Wade asked, did all the thank you packages get sent out already? I'm pretty sure they did. And if you don't live in the US, you're not getting one. I like this question by Tuffy the Cow Hunter. I recently stopped by one of my LGSs and they had no clue about MetaZoo even coming back. This is also a LGS to one of the artists. What do you plan on doing to educate the LGSs out there that are in the same boat? And that's a great question because they're, even where I live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the only store that I ever bought MetaZoo from, when I bought Nightfall, I bought Wilderness. I mean, even that store, when I mentioned the name MetaZoo and MetaZoo's come back, they're like, no, we're not touching that. I was even telling them, no, it's new ownership. I tried to explain to them. They're like, no. We're not going back. We're not going to ever order any more MetaZoo. They didn't even want to hear the words coming out of my mouth that it was new ownership and all that. Just hearing the name MetaZoo, they're like, nope, no thank you. Okay, and one of the most interesting comments in the entire MetaZoo hour I really wanted to document in this video. Is this something y'all would be open to by Cardboard Empire? I really like this. Overview. A weekly or monthly content creator highlight in the MetaZoo TCG Discord. Each week we feature one creator who makes MetaZoo content. This helps drive traffic to their platforms and encourages more people to join in. I mean, even myself, I tried doing that once upon a time. I highlighted Zealous TCG, and then I never did it again just because, I don't know, right? I just didn't get around to it. I'm not MetaZoo. I think everyone knew everyone else's channels, right? There's maybe, at that point, there's maybe 8 different MetaZoo channels to watch. So let's check out Cardboard Empire's plan. So how it works. Each week or month, we spotlight one creator in a Discord post and announcement. The featured content creator gets a special MetaZoo promo card as a reward and recognition. This motivates others to create and share MetaZoo content for a chance to be featured. 1,000,000,000% agreed with this. And there's things that Cryptid Camp is doing that is very similar to this. Cryptid Camp's really cool on their Discord because they really do try to motivate their content creators to make content. And then benefits, community growth, focused attention on one creator makes them feel celebrated, incentivized participation. The promo card encourages more people to make and share content, fairness and inclusivity. Featuring one person at a time gives everyone a fair shot. Relationship building. Staff can connect with creators and learn what inspires them. Let me know what you think. I 1,000,000,000,000% agree with everything said here. And I think a lot of us have been, mentioned in videos in the past too, that if MetaZoo were to reach out to people that are trying to promote their product for free and make videos, it's free advertising. So that is the one big thing that MetaZoo is missing out on right now, is reaching out to content creators. I mean, if I can help get people exposure with my limited reach, I can't imagine the exposure that the actual company can get for these smaller content creators and how much incentive it would create for people watching the videos that have never made any content to be like, you know what? I got an email address. I'm going to make a YouTube channel and I'm going to make some content. Okay, so Charlie did reply to the comment from Tuffy, where Tuffy was talking about the LGS, or a lot of LGSs don't want to touch the name MetaZoo anymore. So anyways, I'm just going to read through this one quick. I know this is a long video, but thank you for bearing with me here. But I mean, this is an important MetaZoo hour that we might be looking back on in the future. So there's a lot to unpack here. First, I'd say the most important mechanism for informing an LGS is you. Okay, I don't like that. Sorry, Charlie, I don't like that answer right there. I mean, it's our job to let the LGSs. I let my LGS in Edmonton, Alberta know that it's not the same MetaZoo. They didn't give a crap. They were just like, yeah. You know what I mean? They didn't give a crap. They were just, all they heard was the name MetaZoo. They're like, they acted like I was trying to get them to buy some poison for me. And LGS cares infinitely more about what you want to buy than they do what I want to sell. Now, I agree with that on the aspect that when MetaZoo first came out, the original MetaZoo, myself, and there were some other people in my city that mentioned it to the game store that I'd like going to about MetaZoo, and they kept hearing about it, and then eventually they're like, okay, yeah, we'll order it. And literally the lady at the store said, hey, if there's any other new TCGs coming out that you're interested in, let us know, and we'll probably give it a shot, order it in. Problem is, now MetaZoo has such a bad taste in their mouth, they're never ordering MetaZoo again. But I bet you if MetaZoo reached out to them and sent out some kind of, press release explaining that they're not the same MetaZoo, then maybe they would get it again. And in fact, getting product into those stores, if they do not have people who want to buy it, makes it detrimental. Like, I agree with that, but at the same time, I mean, like, none of us could go down to our local LGS and be like, yo, man, could you order some MetaZoo? Like, especially not at this point. Not only does MetaZoo have a bad name from the past, if they were to look at the secondary market, they'd be like, okay, so how am I supposed to make a profit on this box? Impossible at this point. I mean, maybe in the beginning, maybe if they told content creators or something like, hey, can you go down to your local LGSs, make some, I don't know, right? I mean, it's not our job to get the LGSs to understand it's not the same MetaZoo. But I do agree that an LGS isn't going to order in product if there's no demand for it. We're already into almost the middle of June here, and there's even less demand for it than there was 2 months ago. So even if we go down there and tell them, yeah, I like MetaZoo, they're just going to be like, well, there's no money to be made by buying these boxes from distribution. Getting distribution is not hard. Holding distribution is very hard. And this is the tightrope that TCGs have to walk really carefully. So what we have done, okay, let's see. Maybe I should have read all this first. So what we have done, we have looked to broaden distribution and promote wide, not deep sales as much as possible. This helps mitigate individual power brokers from gatekeeping your game and sandbagging price as a negotiation tactic. This also helps more people generally have access. For a game that is not only new, but also comes from a damaged IP, the distribution breadth we were able to bring to base set was pretty wild. And sorry for anyone watching this video, all the beeping in the background, it's just because I'm on the Discord, and if anyone else is typing, you're going to hear the alerts. That is already expanded, and we are still building. But we are also working with each distributor to grow responsibly. I am sitting down with literally every sales team that will have me. They have first dibs on my calendar. This helps, and it builds with time. The people talking to those LGSs need to know what the game is and how a store can succeed with it. Well, another thing too, for it to be in a lot of LGSs, I mean, it's got to be more than a booster box. I mean, maybe once the flex decks are out, spell books, blisters, like, less expensive products, so people can just buy like a blister or two, a spell book. I don't care how sweet the box art looks. I mean, for a 24-pack box, to someone that knows nothing about MetaZoo, I mean, if I saw Lestrials or any of these other TCGs like D-Spirits on the shelf, like it was a new D-Spirit set and it said 24 packs, but I had to pay $120 Canadian, I mean, there's no chance in hell I would buy it. I would just go in the secondary market and look at the singles and stuff. Okay, and Charlie did reply to Cardboard Empire's comment about, what are they going to do with content creators? So let's check it out. I like the way you are thinking. We are looking to deepen the relationship between content creators and the brand in ways that are gratifying to the ecosystem. There is always a place in the spotlight for people who love the game and work hard to share it. I will continue to talk with the team about the best ways to do that with what we have available to us. We actually posted a new type of post on Instagram today that people seem to enjoy. Hopefully that is some directional evidence. Okay, I'm going to check that out right now. Let's see. So there's a new post on Instagram. To every player, collector, and caster out there, thank you. MetaZoo wouldn't be here without our incredible community, your passion, your creativity, your love for the game. It's what keeps everything moving forward. Here's what's next. More packs, more cryptids, more spoilers. Okay, so I don't know if that's the post he was referring to in this comment, but anyways. And here we are at 6:27 p.m., so it would have been 8:27 p.m. Eastern Time on June 2nd, 2025. That is the end of the MetaZoo Monday hour or whatever. About an hour and a half in the MetaZoo Discord. So Charlie says, okay, thanks for playing. See you next Monday. But wait, there's more. Check this out. So I was at 6:27. Charlie dropped an important nugget after MetaZoo Monday ended. Oh, by the way, and this was at 6:41, so this is about 14 minutes after MetaZoo Monday ended. Oh, by the way, spoiler season starts next week. Drop the coordinates of the water cryptid you want to see most. Or wait, I just totally read that sentence wrong. Drop the coordinates of the water cryptid you most want to see. So if you drop the coordinates, how do you even find out? I don't even know how that works, but I like this. It reminds me of Mike Waddell talking all cryptid or cryptic, and makes your mind. This is what I was hoping to see in most of this MetaZoo Monday is some some answers or some comments by Charlie that get your mind thinking and get the wheels turning, get the blood flowing. You're like, ooh, what's this? Drop the coordinates of the water cryptid you want to see most. I don't know why I keep reading that wrong. You most want to see. And spoiler season starts next week. See, this gives us a little something to work on. So anyways, comment below. Let me know what you think. What do you think of this MetaZoo Monday? A lot of good questions were asked. A lot of good questions weren't answered. Did you learn anything new in this MetaZoo Hour? I've seen some other people's MetaZoo Hour. I think Escaped Alien had one. And TMX. I just wanted to include some other stuff that they didn't have in their videos. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something new. I hope you comment below. And I know we don't have much to talk about when it comes to MetaZoo, but on June 2nd, 2025, Charlie did say spoiler season starts next week. So that would mean Monday, June 9th, there should be a spoiler coming out. If there's no spoiler by June 9th or June 10th, I will make a video about it being like, what the heck, man? Anyways, comment below, let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video.